What is up, guys? Welcome back to episode of F122, my team career, episode number 5 today for the first ever Miami Grand Prix in Season 1. If you guys did miss the previous episode of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, definitely be sure to go check that one out before season 1. A very entertaining episode, as what a race that was, with both the sprint and the actual race itself, with a lot of chaos, a lot of carnage, and a lot of great racing. Unfortunately, no points for us, but Pourchaire got his first points and added 2 points to our constructor. But anyways, coming into the Miami Grand Prix, nothing much you can really do here. We're going to do some power equipment upgrades, some weight training, and a sponsor advertisement for the vehicle. And not much time though left though. And looking in terms of upgrades, nothing much we can really do. We do have a decent amount of money to spend, but we're going to hold off the money though for next episode, because I want to get that fabrication upgrade for the aerodynamic side. Because remember, like I said, if you watched the previous episode, I noted that we were pretty backed up on upgrades for the aerodynamic side, and I was looking actually at the personnel for possibly one, but I decided to hold off for that. It's $2.5 million, and I think with that we should be able to go next race. So hopefully next race we should be able to buy that facility upgrade. Hopefully we can get on with the upgrades anyways. But going to the timeline now, getting some R&D points here and the weight training. So can we get that beam weighing? Yes, no, actually we can't. Sorry, I thought we would get that for half a second, but that's a big pain, as unfortunately no rear downforce, which is going to be a real pain. That'll come in time up for the Spanish Grand Prix. Again, real painful, because we could have had that. If we had that, we would have been in a much better position. We do have that quality control active, but I think we purchased that after we purchased that upgrade, so unfortunately that's not going to work. But we do get the engine cover distribution upgrade, which will further improve the chassis, but we will not invest any more R&D points into the chassis just yet. Hopefully looking to balance out the aerodynamics with the chassis, and then we'll get them over from there. Anyways, continue to go through the timeline now. We get that activity done, and now finally going through that, we are going to head to the Pirelli Hot Lap and choose autocross for the first time. So autocross is actually pretty interesting. So there's a bunch of gates here, and you have to try to pass through them as cleanly and as quickly as possible. So if you hit, apparently, if you hit the cones, that's worth 5 seconds of penalty, and then if you completely miss the gate, it's 10. And you really got to be precise here, as we almost already hit the cones just at the start here. Driving with the McLaren Artura, the hybrid McLaren, and it's pretty cool to drive this car. I really like the engine sound. It's very, very powerful. Sounds very aggressive as well, as we slalom through these gates here. And it starts to get pretty tight here, as you got to be careful not to hit any cones here, or you lose a lot of time here, getting up pretty deep in there. And here's where it gets really tight, into this very tight and twisty sector 2 here, towards the Mickey Mouse section. And you can see just how closely these are tightly packed here, as we're trying to find a way through as fast as we possibly can. We want to try and get that goal time. It's a 1:18, and it's pretty quick, I must say, as we dart our way through here, getting the back end, stepping out a little bit, but managed to hold that. And can we get this one? Yes, we can. And now this is where it starts to get very tricky, because with this wide open stretch, it's very easy to just floor the gas and just hope for the best. But there is a section that's going to come that's going to require us to slow down to 4th gear, not down to 3rd. Clip that, and clip that. It's going to be very close with the goal time. Can we see if we can get the goal time here as we slalom through these gates here, looking to achieve the final. Now we can floor the power down. Can we make it across the line? It's a 117, and we are going to just miss gold there. Not by much though, so actually it's pretty good, as we get silver there. So 50,000 cash, 500 driver acclaim. It's not gold. I mean, we've only gotten gold in one challenge, which was Australia. So hopefully soon we can get all those gold challenges and get more money and more driver acclaim. But you can see we weren't that far off, only 7/10. But anyways, it's time to get on to FP1 quick practice. So this FP1 quick practice, we just got to go through all the practice programs as quick as we can. The race strategy taking quite a while, I must say, as we've already had a failure. That's never going to be a good omen for this coming weekend. In terms of how it's going to look in Miami, it's going to be dry all weekend, so no need for any wet setups here. As we look to see what we can do, can we get this 50% success one as we go through? Yes, we can, just about, but that'll only be enough then for FP1. Let's get on into FP2 then. Can we finish up this race strategy program? Yes, we can. I was just about to say yes, we can, and of course it fails on us. But anyways, now that is complete. Can we get this track acclimatization? We get the race strategy done as quickly as we can, because that allows the longest one to be done. That way with these shorter ones, we can just speed run through them as fast as we possibly can. So far, things are looking okay for now. We've actually gotten some decent luck with the practice programs here. Can we get this one? Yes. Can we get this tire on just before the session ends? Here we go. Yes, it is. And with just about 2 minutes left to go, that's going to be nothing for FP2. Now, finishing off FP3 here with this average tire wear of the tire wear practice program here. Can we get all this done as quickly as possible so we can get onto qualifying as quickly as possible? I don't think that's going to happen as we get one more failed one. Let's hope we can sweep these real quick, and then we can hopefully get to qualifying as quickly as we can here. Mainly just to see how the car will perform around this circuit, as we're cutting it very fine here with all these failed programs here. Can we get this final one on the durability just before these sessions? Yes, we can. And that will secure us all the development boosts and all the R&D. And as you can see here, getting a total of 825, bringing us to a total of 1,732 R&D points, and then we get the development boost for the car. A lot of durability ones, not too many of aerodynamic and chassis, which was a little concerning, but I will not complain too much. But anyways, that's enough for the practice. It's time we get on to qualifying. Alrighty then, here we are then for qualifying for the Miami Grand Prix, getting ready to get our first laps in for this new Miami International Autodrome circuit. It's going to be interesting to see how we do around here and just see where we actually perform here on the circuit. We take out some fuel and we're going to be going out for our first lap. So here we go then for our first lap of the Miami International Autodrome. Behind one of the Alpha tires, we have Yuki Tsunoda just ahead, as you know, heading out towards turn 1, down to 4th gear, clip that in. It's pretty easy to go deep in here. So we got to spot our braking point just right as the sun is starting to set here in Miami, Florida, as we now head out towards the S section here. We're going to use Yuki Tsunoda as a bit of a gauge to see how well we can go around here, getting very close to the wall here, down to 5th gear. And these S corners are pretty fun to drive here, as we're actually catching Yuki Tsunoda surprisingly here. As to that long left hander we go, and we're going to get a nice decent toe off of him down this straight here, getting ready to open DRS for the second time this lap. DRS wide open here, so now heading out towards the next sequence of turns and towards the heart of Sector 2 here. Tucked in behind the Alpha tire. The Alpha tire very quick in a straight line. Luckily with that toe we should be able to gain a couple tenths and maybe a couple hundredths there as well, along with it, as we now follow Yuki Tsunoda through this very tight sector towards the Mickey Mouse section. Very, very hard to get right here as we go here through the first time, getting a massive snap of oversteer and a glitch recording there as well. Almost losing it into the wall again and hoping to just make it in one piece. We do manage to get through in one piece there, as you know, head down this next straight here, very long straight here. And my concern with Miami is that with these long straights, we're going to be a sitting duck on here because our car is not very efficient on the straights here. So hopefully we can get it right as we can now come into the last corner here, or one of the last corners, as you now get on the power as early as we dare here, up to the gears now, as we get an open DRS here, as we go across the line here. What lap time is this going to give us? It's going to be a 1:32.3. That's going to put us ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Joe Guan Yu and Nicholas Latifi, but only for now. As we return to the garage then, you can see a lot of the times are spread out, and actually our lap time wasn't even that good, as we are way behind on everyone else. If you noticed our split times, we were actually pretty decent in the first sector. We actually made up a lot of time in the first sector, but we seem to lose it all in that second and third sector. There is quite a bit of time to find though, I will admit. But I can definitely tell you that on the straights, we are very, very slow. So we're going to have to go out again and just hope for the best, that we can line up a good lap here around Miami, and hopefully we can put ourselves into Q2. As we go head down the main straight here for one last time here in Q2, the session is going to end in a minute or so. So we're going to have to put in a good lap here. This will be our final lap here. Tucked up behind, I think it's one of the Alpines, I think, of Esteban Ocon just ahead of us. Ocon needs a good lap as well, or else he'll be knocked out then of Q1 as you now head down this straight and towards the fast exit. This is where we make up the most time in the corners compared to the air. We are actually pretty nimble here, considering our car, well, it's just not the greatest in the corners. We go a little wide there. We do get a nice exit though out of here. Floor the gas now down the straight, and again, this is where we struggle the most here. As you can see, we're 1 second up then on Esteban Ocon, but you will watch that gap just slowly start to erode away as we are just lagging on the straights here. Again, our car is pretty draggy. We don't have a lot of drag reduction on our car. We don't even have that rear downforce upgrade. We have one front downforce upgrade, but again, no drag reduction here. So drag reduction is going to be a real priority here in these next couple of episodes. We obviously prioritize a bit of rear and front downforce, as I feel the car could be a little better in the corners, but I think the straight as well. as well, and we're going to need some power upgrades as well, just to see if we can sort of close that gap we've had with that straight line deficit for the teams. Anyways, 5 seconds left in this session. That means qualifying is going to be over right about now, as I come into the last corner, then it accidentally hit that inside soft curve. You don't want to hit those curves there, or else you're going to have a terrible run, and you're most likely going to spin out. And we go to the cross line. This 1 second gain is going to put us anywhere near the shot of Q2. Are you kidding me right now? Are you actually joking? We went 1 second quicker in that entire lap, and we only came in 22nd. Today, Pourchaire, 13th place. 1.5 seconds off the lead. Where are we? 2.6 seconds off, and in dead last. What happened there? We gained an entire second, and we still got knocked out of Q1. Whatever. It's time we go on to the race, Dad. Hopefully we can make up in the race, and hopefully we can score some good points.
Formula One has arrived in the Sunshine State for spectacular sunsets, gentle breezes, warm waters, and for what will be a fantastic race day here at the Miami International Autodrome. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Sainz, Perez, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, and Ricciardo, Théo Pourchaire, Vettel, Alex Albon, and Lando Norris, Stroll, Joe, Latifi, and Gallagher. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So this is going to be an interesting Miami Grand Prix we have on your hands here. No grid penalties to help us further elevate our position, so all the hard work will have to be done by now. So in terms of strategy then for the Miami Grand Prix, because everyone's starting pretty much on the medium compounded tires, it's a straight, again, one-stop strategy from mediums to hard compounded tires. Haven't seen much variety in strategies, to be honest, which is kind of a little pain in the butt. But hopefully in the later races, when tire wear becomes more of a factor, we can have some more varying strategies for more exciting races. Anyways, then we're lining up towards the grid, then getting ready to start this Miami Grand Prix, warming up the tires one last time. Remember, we are the last slot on the grid then, so we can take our glorious time. But we'll get there as quick as we can just to get this Miami Grand Prix underway, then coming towards the line. We're trying to get this purple one here. Yes, we can.
Okay,
and we are tilted slightly to the left
so
that we can get a decent launch here. So anyways, here we go. That's a 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix. Lights out, and we are green, green, green here in Miami, Florida. It's a decent start for us against the Williams as Joe Blondie tries to find it, but we're going to sneak it up the inside of not one, but like 6 or 7 cars. Down the inside we go. Clip that inside curve a little bit, and we managed to get up then into P. I think it is 17 for now. Yes, it is. As we now head now towards the S section here, you can see a lot of guys here trying to squabble for positions here as we start to slowly make our way through. As the 2 Mercedes are going wheel to wheel here through the left-hander here. Who's going to have the better on board then with George Russell? Can he hang this around the outside? Yes, he can. He's going to have a decent run down the straight, but I think Hamilton just has the overwhelming speed then just for now. As we now head now towards the next straight here, as Mick Schumacher almost had a look then on his teammate, as we now head now towards the left-hander here, towards the heart of second 2. On board then with Yuki Tsunoda, looking to be able to make a dive bomb. No, he went up, but there goes Danny Ricciardo all the way up the inside there. what a move by the Aussie man there, as he literally just sent it up the inside. Good old Daniel Ricciardo, the guy who loved to make dive-bombs. Anyways, back to our POV here. We are stuck behind Sebastian, but with everybody concertinaing up in the Mickey Mouse section, we're going to set it up the inside then of the German driver in the Aston Martin. That moves us up then into P15 for now. But then watch the Aston Martin then of Sebastian start flying through. Again, this is where we struggle the most with on the straights here, as Vettel flies past then. And that's going to be a little pain for us, as we're going to try to force him on the inside. Hopefully force him to make a mistake, but he has the experience he needs. And he's going to move up then into P15 as we get pushed down to P16. And this is a corner we also struggle with a lot as well, because we don't seem to have a good drive up here. As we now look behind, you see Alex Albon in the Williams pressure as we now head out towards turn 1. We go way too deep on the brakes, still completely misjudge our braking point. Have to go off the track a little bit. In turn, though, we force Lando Norris off the track a little bit, but that gets Albon back. But then watch us as we now head down toward the middle of the first sector here. You can see we gain so much time on the AI. He's just able to throw the car in, trust the car, and you can see Albon is gaining, but then just watch on the straight as he starts to waltz away from us. So again, it really shows the weaknesses of our car not being powerful on the straights. And even with the slipstream here, I mean, again, we're not using ERS, so that could be the reason why as well. Maybe Albon is using a bit of ERS then to stay ahead of us. But it's going to be painful because, you know, this is quite a real pain in the butt, because Miami is pretty quick in terms of average lap speed. So let's hope we can stay with Alex Albon then for the rest of the race. But literally, like 15 seconds later, here comes Lando Norris. We're going to squeeze him to the inside there. Jeez, that was close. As he now makes his way around the outside, so we're going to force him off the track there just a little bit. That was pretty rude of us, and he has to come into the pits then for a front wing change. I will admit that was pretty harsh from us, but it was hard racing. And I mean, he wanted to go around the outside. If the guy wants to go around the outside and squeeze him, he's got to get out the way. Anyways, it's a front wing change for him, and he will strap on a set of soft compounded tires. He will be a quick car, but he will be so out of place compared to us, so a little bit of a shame then for the Briton, but nothing he can really do much about it. Lap 4 then of this Miami Grand Prix. We have held station and they are stuck behind Alex Albon for a little bit. But now we are seeing this fight then forming between Daniel Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas, as Kevin Magnussen looks now to pursue Daniel Ricciardo and hope to take that final points position as they now head towards the left-hander here. Ricciardo's got a decent straight line speed, but Magnussen has the overwhelming speed with the DRS. Can he stick it up the inside? Yes, he can. But Ricciardo fights it back, and he actually managed to keep the position then for now, as Magnussen got squeezed out there a little bit on the inside as he got pinched in. But now he'll have a great run then on the back straight as they now head out towards the back straight. Magnussen applies the power, and will help, I'm assuming, with the help of DRS, as he will wait for the DRS to activate right about now. He opens the DRS. He will blow by the McLaren Daniel Ricciardo with plenty of time before the corner, and now he moves up then into P10 of the Miami Grand Prix. Riding on board with Esteban Ocon on lap 8 then, nothing much has happened here, but we can see Esteban Ocon then gaining on the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas. Remember, on paper, Alpine and Alfa Romeo, like in real life, are actually very similar on pace then, so we'll see how that works out. Anyways, coming into the left-hander here, nothing much he can do though, but let's see if we have another chance then in the next couple of laps here, as he is definitely pretty feisty here, and looking to try and move up then from P9, and he will have another chance then on lap 9 here, as we now head down the back straight then for another time. He's much closer to Valtteri Bottas than he was last time, and he's seen quite a bit of ERS here as we now head now towards the left-hander. No, he will not make a move. And Bottas locks up though. That's going to allow Ocon though to get inside there, and can he force him? No, he cannot. Valtteri Bottas just gets away there, just about. He gets lucky there, but that lockup's going to cost him a bit of tire wear there, as they remain stationed just for now. Meanwhile, up ahead at the sharp end, you've got Max Verstappen leading the way from Charles Leclerc. Then comes Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez. Verstappen waltzing away this race from Charles Leclerc. Unlike real life, where Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen actually fought for the lead, Verstappen has pretty much dominated from the start here. As now we can see Théo Pourchaire and Zhou Guanyu dueling it out then for 18th place. And then back up to the top here, as now right on board then with Carlos Sainz here. He's pretty close to his teammate here. Remember, his teammate does not have DRS off of Max Verstappen. but he is gaining in the slipstream, but he will just have to wait behind here. But similar to the case between Daniel Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen, I think the best time that Carlos Sainz can wait for is the back straight, which is coming up to very, very soon. It's now heading now through the Mickey Mouse section, but they'll have to be careful because they don't want to trip over each other too much, because otherwise Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton, and George Russell are all waiting there to pounce on them. It's a 5-horse fight them for second place. Verstappen is just completely dominating the race so far. But here we go then. Sainz in the slipstream. He's got DRS. He's probably deploying a lot of battery here. Leclerc defends the inside line. Sainz sees the gap on the outside. Makes a bit of a twitch there. But can he make the move stick as they now head down on towards the main straight here? Can he go around the outside? The turn is the inside line for his teammate. Can he get the move done? Now running up with Charles Leclerc. Can he pull himself back then and keep P2 as he now head down towards turn 1. Sainz squeezes him out and he moves up now into P2. Anyways, now back to our POV here. Lap 11, nothing much has happened like I said here. It's been a pretty quiet race for us, but now we're starting to recatch Alex Albon. Maybe he's facing a bit of tire wear. Maybe he's got a bit of damage. I don't know here, but he is definitely going very, very slow. He's going a lot slower than he has in the last couple laps. He's been holding stations as we almost run straight into the back of him. He's going very slow here as we head now towards the back straight here. One of the back straights, to say, as we get ready to open DRS. But you can see that we're not making up any progress on him. I know we're not using overtake, and he's probably burning a lot of battery to try and stay ahead here. So maybe that's why the issue. But again, we could be making up a lot of time then without the ERS there, as he had a huge lock up there. Sorry for that little delay there as I was talking about the ERS, but he had a huge lock up there. Maybe he just struggled with a bit of tire wear here. Let's come to the Mickey Mouse section for another time. Taking a very questionable line there. And I think we'll have to pay the price for that, unfortunately, there with that indicator coming up.
The underbody's taken a little damage, just watch out for it.
Oh, well, that's great. It's been like the third straight race that we've had underbody damage. But anyways, we're up into P16, but we can't really catch the guys in front. They're all in a DRS trade. So while that means they aren't making up any progress, they're much faster than us because they have the DRS, and they're just in faster cars. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle here as we try to get our head down and hopefully close the gap ever so slightly before the pit stop window. Lap 13 and already people are starting to make their pit stops. Verstappen comes in and comes Charles Leclerc as well. Carlos Sainz stays out. Hamilton's in. Russell stays out. So a lot of the top guys are making their pit stops here as we now see Verstappen come out. There goes Leclerc and Hamilton in synchronized fashion. Medium tires off, hard tires on. Here comes Fernando Alonso in the Alpine coming to the pits along with Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen. Ocon stays out. And I think next, Mick Schumacher will stay out as well. Ricciardo, Gasly are in as well. And we are in as well then for our stop as we come into the pits then. There will be medium tires off, hard tires on for us then. As we make our way into the box here, try to get that optimal turn in, which is now. Get a good turn in here. Medium tires off, hard tires on. No problems with the pit, which is great. So we haven't, and the interesting thing I must note is we've never had any problems with our pit crew. So hopefully I won't jinx that anytime soon, as the tires are very, very, very cold right now. So we're going to try to warm these tires up as quickly as we can, and hopefully we can get a gap to the other cars before we start to lose touch. And moving on then from lap 14 to lap 15, other people are making their pit stops, also the ones that have not made it on the previous lap then. And we have closed it to Sebastian Vettel a little bit. We are still behind Daniel Ricciardo. We were behind him, but Vettel has jumped Daniel Ricciardo in the pit stop. So that'll be interesting to see as we now continue towards the S section. Let's see if we can use this warmer hard tire to sort of catch up. And hopefully Ricciardo can get held up by Vettel so that we can slowly catch up and hopefully get its supports. On lap 15 then, we are riding on board the Mick Schumacher as they now head down the straight here and trying to catch the AlphaTauri Yuki Tsunoda a little bit nappy here as he now pulls over to the outside. Will he be able to complete the move around the outside if he possibly can? Both of them on fresh hard compounded tires. I think Schumacher's on slightly, I think they actually both make the pit stop at the same time. So pretty equal pace. Who's gonna have the better run? Schumacher has the DRS and he pulls ahead and he's up into P11. But unfortunately, that has not happened for us, as Daniel Ricciardo and Sebastian Vettel are still walking away for us. Meanwhile, riding on board then with Sergio Perez, who is closing on the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz is way ahead of him by 2 whole seconds, but Max Verstappen still controlling this Miami Grand Prix as they're coming into the heart of Sector 2 here. Perez will have a great run down the back straight if he get a good run here. But you got both Mercedes also looking to spoil the party as well, just in case both of them start to trip over each other. The Mercedes can easily pick up the scraps and pick up the reins and take third and fourth if needed. But here we are then on the back straight. And Perez get a good run here with a bit of ERS usage, I'm supposing. Leclerc will use a bit of ERS as well to try to defend from Sergio Perez as he now head down the strip. DRS wide open then for the Red Bull driver, the Mexican, the Monegasque defense. But coming into the hairpin here, Perez is going to go to the outside. Leclerc here's in the squeeze a little bit. We'll see what's going to happen though as he now exits the corner. Then who's going to have the better drive out of here? It looks like Perez has the better drive so far as he now heads now towards turn 1 at the start of lap number 18 here. Leclerc's got a better run though. Can Perez though sneak it up the inside? Down the inside he goes. And he makes a bit of contact there with Charles Leclerc, but he moves up into P3, and now he can go on and chase Carlos Sainz there as Charles Leclerc had a little look there, and then Mercedes almost got involved, but everything has started to settle down just a little bit. And now riding aboard them with Zhou Guanyu as we now head down to the back straight here. Both tried to somewhat preserve a lead here. Just try to see who's going to catch up to me first here. Albon gives him the squeeze though a little bit as they both now head through the middle sector here. Who's going to have the better line? It looks like Zhou Guanyu just gets ahead of him, and he will be the first one to pursue after me then for P16. And already Zhou Guanyu has caught up to us, lap 23 of 29, only 7 laps to go here. But we have just completely lost pace. So 11 seconds behind the McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo, 12 seconds behind the Aston Martin then of Sebastian Vettel, and Zhou Guanyu is on our tail as we now head now through the back straight with a very, very slow and driving start. You see him gaining with the slipstream, DRS and a bit of ERS usage. We're not going to fight him too much. He goes down the inside, and we're going to settle in behind him. And hopefully we can use him as a bit of a DRS help assistance to sort of A, charge up our battery, and B, if we need to, we can re-overtake him, and we'll just have that bragging right that we got P16 in the Miami Grand Prix. Lap 27, though, we got yellow flags behind us. I wonder what happened back there. Maybe someone has spawned, or maybe someone has had a mechanical failure as they're heading up through the S section. We have lost touch then with Zhou Guanyu, so P16 is going to be pretty much okay unless we go very wide. Something is wrong with the car. The tires are absolutely shot, probably, as we now come through this left-hand here, getting on the power as we can. But we tapped the wall by accident, as we now have front wing damage there. Who's out of the Grand Prix? I think it's Alex Albon and the Williams there. Yes, it is. It is confirmed that Alex Albon now out of the Grand Prix. But now we have front wing damage with just 3 laps to go, though. We're going to have to just hope for the best here and not try to push too hard here. But we got Pourchaire and Stroll both gaining on us here as we enter the dying stages of the Grand Prix. We're just going to have to brute for this and pray that our car will stick together. But Zhou Guanyu is going to be running away with this afterwards. And no safety car with just 3 laps to go. Then unfortunately with the coding in this game, with 3 laps to go, they're not going to pull out a safety car. They're probably just going to hope for the best and no one runs over the debris. As you can see there, the front wing damage is an orange front wing. But I did notice that when you do get front wing damage in this game, it's not that terrible, or it's not that drastic compared to the likes of, let's say, F1 2021 or F1 2020, because these new generation of cars, they don't rely too much on their front and rear downforce because they are ground effect cars. So a lot of the downforce is produced via the Venturi tunnels in the bottom, and also just the wind vanes as well on the ground, or not the wind vanes, just something about it. But something on the ground helps them to create downforce. It is a lot, less dramatic with the front and rear, which allows the cars to run so close together. So hopefully with this wing damage we'll be fine for now, and we won't lose too much time to our teammate. But it has been a clean day for Max Verstappen. He has controlled this race then from start to finish, ahead of Carlos Sainz by 10 whole seconds. He now heads down the the back straight here, coming into the hairpin for one last time here on lap 29 here. It is going to be I think it's his second victory. Yes, his second victory then of F1 22 My Team Series. He wins the Miami Grand Prix ahead of Carlos Sainz, who's a long way back in second place. Then comes the Red Bull, Sergio Perez in third, Charles Leclerc in fourth, Lewis Hamilton and George Russell complete 5 and 6 just behind him. Leclerc withstood the pressure, and he has held on to P4. Then Fernando Alonso comes home in P7, then ahead of Esteban Ocon, so a double points finish then for the team that comes from France. You got Valtteri Bottas in 8th, Valtteri Bottas 9th, sorry, my fault. Kevin Magnussen 10th, Mick Schumacher 11th, both advertised 12th and 13th. And we are now riding aboard them with Daniel Ricciardo then, as we now head down the back straight. Will he have a chance to sort of overtake the Aston Martin for one last time? I don't think he is that close enough to make a move unless he wants to make a crazy dive bomb, but he's just a little too far back there as they'll have to settle for P14 and P15. And meanwhile for us, we've been just limping back here, somehow keeping behind the likes of Stroll and Pourchaire. If you had watched the ladder carefully, we had scrapped a little bit, but I was able to keep my teammate behind me. I probably should have just let him go, but at this point, there's really no point fighting, because we're not even fighting for any points. Anyways, we're going to come across the line with a bit of snap of oversteer, though. Stroll's going to have a great run on us. He's going to get us on the line here, and P17 is kind of snatched from us there. Very quiet and a very boring Miami Grand Prix. A lot of work to do then, as our car, just did not have any pace. We just couldn't keep up with the other guys, so bit of a shame for us, but what can we
do? Red Bull pulling out all the stops today. What a great win. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sports that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
And my screen is obviously not very happy that Max Verstappen won yet again for his second win of 2022, and that will get him closer to Charles Leclerc, and we'll see if he brings a challenge to him. I think he actually is in the lead of the championship just because Leclerc had that DNF at Imola, that double disaster. So with that win, he essentially just opens his championship lead, as Leclerc has fallen to 12. Sorry, not 12. What am I saying? He has fallen to 4th place, and he's still second in the championship, but by quite some margin. So Leclerc will need to have a good run of races.
So
anyways,
let's review the
looking
driver's standings.
through
Max
the
Verstappen should be
standings
pleased with his
here, you've
performance,
got Pourchaire just ahead of us. Actually, sorry, us ahead of Pourchaire, I
who
was
would
just saying.
you rank as
But
your
anyways,
driver of the
it's
day?
not really a
Definitely
great
Joe, isn't
run
it?
for us.
No matter
We
what
both
the rest of the field threw at him,
didn't have
he
pace
put
to
a
get
foot
any
wrong.
points.
Superb
And
drive from him.
constructors-wise, we
Let's
are
move
falling
on to the
behind the likes of
constructors.
Haas,
And pulling
McLaren, and
further ahead in the
Alpha.
standings,
As we're trying to
it's Red
fight
Bull.
then for 6th and
Meanwhile,
7th
good work
place
from Aston
here.
Martin this
But
weekend,
now
who
with these
pushed
kind of
themselves
weekends
further up
where
the
we're
order.
going to have no
It's
points,
been an
it's going to be
absolutely
hard to get that
wild
6th and
weekend.
7th place. But anyways, then that concludes the Miami Grand Prix episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this episode, definitely be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next episode, which is Spain. And hopefully there we can have a better run and hopefully score some good points. Goodbye, everyone.